A very warm welcome to our parents, friends, and especially our grandparents who are joining us today. We are so proud of our Class 5, and we are thrilled to celebrate their talents and voices in this cross-curricular presentation of Greek mythology. At the core of the Marymount mission is our commitment to empower each student to discover her own voice and to find confidence in that voice to challenge, shape, and change the world. Even in this very challenging year, we are delighted that our Class 5 girls have been able to explore the richness of their Greek mythology unit during their history, language arts, music, visual arts, and drama classes. The students today will reenact some of their favorite Greek myths, and they have added their own special touches as they bring the gods and goddesses of Mount Olympus to Marymount. You will see the visual and performing arts together in action through their beautiful character self-portraits, song, dance, strong public speaking skills, and acting skills. Mythology is the third of 6 interdisciplinary units during their years in lower middle and upper middle school. And these are designed to keep our students' voices strong and to empower them to communicate effectively with confidence and joy. We're so proud of each and every one of our girls and their excellent work. And ladies and gentlemen, we are thrilled to be able to share our presentation with you and give you a glimpse into the dynamic and exciting curricular work which fill our days at Marymount. Let the show begin.
Long, long ago, the citizens of ancient Greece marveled at the wonders of the world around them. They were transfixed by the powers of volcanoes. They pondered the change of the seasons, and they were amazed by the stars that lit up in the nighttime sky. And so, the citizens of ancient Greece created gods and goddesses, each with powers, each with a story, to explain all of life's mysteries.
The gods and goddesses lived together on Mount Olympus, a mountain so high that no human could see their activity. At the start, there was Gaia. She came out of the darkness so long ago that no one knows how and no one knows when. There was her grandson, Zeus, the most powerful of all the gods. Zeus shared his throne on Mount Olympus with his brothers, sisters, and all their children. Together, they served as the major gods of ancient Greece. In addition to all their powers, the Greek gods and goddesses had many human flaws as well, like jealousy, curiosity, and greed.
The people of ancient Greece worshipped these gods and did their best to keep them happy. They believed that if there was a thunderstorm, the gods were in the middle of a heated argument. And if it was sunny, that meant the gods were getting along. Though the humans could never climb to the top of Mount Olympus, the gods would often descend to earth, disguised as humans or animals. They were mischievous gods and couldn't help but cause trouble. Today we share 3 stories, all of them lessons about what happens when you anger the gods. We proudly present the Greek myths.
The myth of Arachne. Athena was the daughter of Zeus. After Zeus swallowed her mother, the goddess Metis, Athena sprang forth from her father's head, fully grown and wearing the armor and helmet that her mother had made, while inside Zeus's body.
My dear Athena, you are my most treasured child. I will grant you any wish. Simply ask and it shall be so. Though I am the goddess of wisdom, I long for creativity as well. Kind Father, bless me with the gift of artistry and I shall be content.
Zeus kept his promise, and Athena became a master of craftsmanship and the goddess to artists. She was the inventor of the loom and presented her gifts for all mankind to enjoy.
With this invention, I can create the most exquisite tapestries, using colors from the universe and threads spun from the softest clouds, red from the sunset and blue from the night sky.
Everyone in Greece worshipped the artistry of Athena. until one day a young maiden, the proud Arachne, challenged the goddess.
Excuse me? Who dares challenge the goddess Athena?
Patience, please. I'm just getting to that. Arachne was a young girl who lived in Lindia, famous for its purple dye. Her joy was weaving, and she wore the most beautiful clothes anyone had ever seen.
Look at my craftsmanship. I make men weep at my artwork and the skill of my hands. I am the greatest weaver in all the world, the greatest since the world began, no doubt. Call me crazy, but I think I can weave better than Athena herself.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Athena heard this, of course. The gods were always very quick to hear criticism, and even swifter to act against it. Athena was hurt and dismayed by Arachne's words, for she truly cherished mortals and only wished for their betterment. However, this disrespect could not go unpunished.
You poor child, you don't know how foolish you are.
Athena disguised herself as an old woman and went down to earth to Arachne's house. She met with Arachne and gave her the opportunity to correct her mistake.
Your work is beautiful, child, but do you dare compare yourself to the goddess Athena? Why not be content to the best among the mortals and leave the work to the gods themselves?
Because I am better than the gods. Let Athena come measure her skill against mine.
And with that, the goddess Athena threw off her disguise.
Uh-oh.
Foolish Arachne, you are a vain girl. I am the goddess Athena, the very goddess you have dared to mock. Your wish has come to pass. Sit down at your loom and let us compete. Your own villagers will be the judge and jury. 7 days from now, you will set your spindle in the meadow, and I shall set mine in a place, and we shall have a contest. If you win, I shall refrain from any punishment. If I win, it's your life.
On the day of the competition, Arachne and Athena sat at their looms and began their work. For days the two spun their crafts. The villagers came from near and far to witness this magical sight. Though Arachne's loom produced a rich and beautiful canvas, it was no match for the goddess Athena, who seemed to weave the very sky into her fabric.
Dear goddess, please forgive me for my vanity. It is true you are the greatest in craftsmanship. Please spare me my humble little life.
I take pity on you, Arachne, for though you are a proud girl, you are in fact talented. I shall spare you your life. But since you enjoy weaving so very much, you must spend your life weaving forever, so that you may never forget the fate that befalls those who challenge the gods.
And with that, Athena changed Arachne into a spider.
Foolish girl, spin your thread and weave your empty net forever.
And that is why spiders are called arachnids, by those who know them best.
The myth of Io. The grandest and loudest arguments on Mount Olympus always took place between Zeus and his wife Hera. Hera was the most powerful and splendid of all the goddesses.
Oh, stop, narrator, you're too much.
But she was also the most jealous of the goddesses, and she was fiercely suspicious of her husband.
Good morning, my dear, and where are you off to so early?
I will be taking another trip down to Earth today. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Earth? Whatever for?
Why? To check up on fields and pastures. I want to make sure Demeter has all the fertility under control.
Will you be long?
No longer than usual. Check that Mount Olympus is taken care of in my absence.
Hera was not fooled by her husband, and knew his trips to Earth were to visit his many mortal wives. For Zeus, as the mightiest of all the gods, made it his priority to have many children. The more children Zeus had, the more powerful his reign would be. Hera decided right then and there that she would put a stop to it.
I will follow him this time, and my wrath will be felt on all the land.
In truth, Hera's suspicions were well-founded. On this particular day, Zeus had decided to visit one of his wives, a beautiful mortal named Io.
My dear Io, you are the most beautiful of all my mortal wives.
And you are mightiest of all the gods, how I'm privileged to be your wife.
Their polite conversation was interrupted when Zeus noticed Hera in the distance, fast approaching, the fire of rage burning in her eyes.
Io, forgive me for what I'm about to do.
And with that, he quickly turned Io into a cow.
Excuse me, what did you say? Moo!
Please, my love, you must trust me. Hera's on her way, and if she sees you, you will feel her wrath for all eternity. That is a very long time.
Moo!
Don't be afraid, I will take good care of you.
Moo! Moo, 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 moo!
Hello, my darling husband. Surprised to see me?
My darling wife, what a pleasant surprise. How good of you to come and check on me. It must have been that you missed me terribly.
Yes, of course. It's exactly the reason I came.
Well, not much to report, unfortunately. The pastures are doing very well. Look how healthy and beautiful these cows are.
Moo!
Beautiful indeed.
But Hera was not fooled. She knew the trick of her husband, and so she decided to play a little trick of her own.
In fact, now that I think of it, this is the most beautiful cow I've ever seen. I've never seen one so white or with such dark, exquisite eyes.
Moo! Moo!
May I keep her?
Keep her? But my dear, you are an all-powerful goddess. What do you want with a silly little cow?
Moo!
Are you denying me my wish, Zeus?
Zeus was trapped. He knew he would have to either grant Hera her wish or confess, and so he gave Io the cow to his wife as a gift.
Your wish is my command.
Why, thank you. I will take extra care of this precious gift. You can go now.
All right, then. I'll just be back on Mount Olympus, then.
Bye.
Moo!
Deep down, Hera was still enraged. Of course she knew that Io was a cow transformed from a beautiful maiden. And so, she chained the poor cow to a tree in a remote pasture and summoned her trusty servant Argus.
Argus! Argus! Argus!
Argus at your service.
I need you to keep your eyes on this cow. Are you up to it?
Am I up to it? I'm the greatest fellow watchman in the land. I have over 100 eyes cover my entire body. I never shut more than half of them, even when I'm asleep.
Well, from now on, you are not to shut a single one or turn any away from this cow.
Cow? What cow? I don't see any cow. Are you sure there's a cow in this pasture?
Right here!
Oh, right in front of me. Maybe I should get my eyes checked. Get it? Sorry. So sorry. Yes, I've got my eyes on it.
Poor Io. She was trapped, forced to walk on all fours, eat grass, and moo for the rest of her life.
Moo!
Meanwhile, Zeus took pity on poor Io, but fear of his wife's wrath prevented him from daring to help her. At last, he called for his son Hermes, the official messenger of the gods, and the craftiest of all his children.
Hermes! 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 Hermes, use your cunning and find a way to trick the watchman Argus and release poor Io. But under no circumstances can you let Hera see what you're up to.
Your will is my mission, Dad. And so Hermes traveled to Earth and disguised himself as a shepherd. He walked up to Argus and Io, playing a beautiful tune upon his shepherd's pipe. Argus, having nothing to do but watch a cow all day, was delighted to hear some music.
Welcome, welcome, my friend. Boy, are you a sight for sore eyes.
I am a tired old shepherd. I've been traveling for many days. May I rest by you for a while and keep you company?
Do. Please do. Tell me, shepherd, where are you from?
It's interesting you should ask that. Where should I start? A long time ago.
Hermes began to tell Argus a long and boring story.
And then there is this one time I counted all the grains of sand on the shore. 1, 2, 3, just to see how many there were. 4, 5, 6.
It had no point and no end, and one by one, each of Argus' eyes began to sleep.
And then, that's when I started watching this tiny slug. It moved very slowly, inch by inch by inch.
And after a long while, the last of Argus' many eyes finally shut. Hermes had bored him to death. Once Argus' eyes were no longer watching, Hermes threw off the disguise and quickly freed Io.
I can move! Holy cow!
Io, I am Hermes, son of Zeus. He has taken pity on you, so I have set you free. Run home to your father and never speak of this again.
Thank you, Hermes. Thank you for giving me back my life.
Hera was furious when she returned to find Io had been set free and her beloved servant Argus was bored to death.
Zeus!
She brought her wrath to her husband Zeus, who pretended once again they had no idea what she was talking about.
My dear, if it means this much to you, I will make it up to you. Hermes, please find my dear wife another cow.
I don't want another cow. I wanted that one. I know you two are behind this, and if I ever find proof, you will pay dearly. And my dear Argus, so you will never be forgotten, I will take your 100 eyes and place them on the tail of the peacock. From this day forward, it will remain the most beautiful bird on earth.
And that is how the peacock inherited its colorful feathers.
The myth of Persephone. As the goddess of fertility, Demeter was in charge of all the fields and crops, and assured the earth good harvests and abundant life. Zeus was very fond of Demeter, and appreciative of all she did for the earth, and so he made Demeter his wife. Together they had a beautiful daughter they named Persephone. Persephone brought Demeter so much joy that she never let her daughter out of her sight. When Demeter went to earth to look after the fields and trees, she brought Persephone with her.
Come, Persephone, my cherished child, let us sprinkle the flowers with the dewdrops of heaven.
Persephone was raised among the flowers, and was even told that she looked like a flower herself. It was she who named all the flowers in the world.
Since you are as bright as the sun, you shall be called Sunflower. You are as delicate as the wind, and I shall name you Daisy.
She would dance and laugh in the fields, and with her laughter came so much happiness and sunshine from the gods. And it was this laughter that caught the attention of Hades, the god of the underworld.
Who dares to wake me up in the middle of my sleep?
Now Hades was known to be a gloomy and grumpy god, and one who kept mostly to himself, hidden in the caves of the underworld. But hearing the laughter of Persephone suddenly stirred love in his heart.
What is this strange feeling that's come over me? Why is my frown turning upside down? I feel happy. Oh, how I wish I could have this girl as my wife, to bring her laughter to my tedious days.
But Hades knew that Demeter would never part with her beloved daughter, and so he devised a mischievous plan to capture the beautiful girl.
Mother, the sun is so high in the sky today. Please let me go gather flowers in the meadow. My child, you know I desire to grant your every last request, but there's more danger to the world than your young heart could know. Please, I promise that I will return before dark. The flowers are so beautiful and plentiful. I'll make the most beautiful crown for you. Very well, but do not travel too far or rest behind trees where I cannot see you. Oh, thank you, Mother. I will do as you say.
But in her excitement, Persephone forgot to heed her mother's warnings. She strayed too far for her mother to see.
Closer, closer, closer.
And here in the flattest part of the meadow, the ground split open. In an instant, Hades reached up from the underworld and snatched the beautiful girl, dragging her down below. The ground quickly covered up the hole and silence fell upon the land. Demeter realized instantly that something was wrong and called out urgently for her daughter.
Persephone, Persephone, where are you? Come back, Persephone!
Persephone had vanished, without a trace, and Hades let the frightened girl into his home in the underworld.
Do not be afraid, Persephone. You'll be happy here.
How can I ever be happy in a home such as this, where the sun will never again touch my skin?
I will give you all the gifts that your heart desires. I'll give you a throne of black marble and all the jewels that you could ever want. You shall be the queen of the underworld.
I have no use for cold jewels. I love the warmth of the summer air and the delicacy of the flowers. They are my jewels. I don't want to be down here with you. I want to be with my mother.
Enough complaining. What is done is done. You must remain here with me for now. In time, you'll grow to be happy here. This might take longer than I thought.
In the meantime, Demeter talked with all the birds and discovered what happened to her precious daughter. In a rage, she went to the god Zeus.
You know, I've always been especially fond of you, Demeter. I oblige the earth with rain whenever you feel so thirsty. But what is it you ask of me now?
Your brother Hades has stolen our daughter and dragged her down to the underworld to be his queen. You must rescue her immediately. Justice must be had.
Please calm yourself. Though we've had our differences, Hades is a powerful god, and will make a good husband for our daughter. I cannot make such a demand of my own brother.
But he has stolen her unfairly.
I admit, his wooing was a little abrupt, but she'll be taken well care of.
Anyone but Hades, Persephone is a flower child, a daughter of the morning. No ray of sunlight ever pierces that dark hole he calls his kingdom. She will wither and die.
Don't be absurd. She's a daughter of Zeus. She will survive.
And with that, Zeus dismissed his wife, tired of her pleading. But Demeter's sorrow was uncontrollable, and she wept day after day for her daughter. Weeks passed, and Zeus began to receive complaints from the mortals. Crops were dying, soil was dry, and no buds were blooming.
Maybe I wasn't entirely fair. Can we find some compromise?
As long as my daughter is away, I will weep. As I am the goddess of fertility, while she is gone, nothing will grow. No tree will bear fruit, no grass will spring. I will mourn, and the earth will grow as dry and shriveled as my heart.
Yeah, somehow I don't think that's going to ease the mortals. Very well. She will be allowed to leave Hades as long as she has not eaten the food of the underworld. If she has, you'll understand there's nothing I can do. She will have to remain there forever. I will send Hermes to rescue Persephone and bring her home to you.
I'm sure she hasn't eaten. Her soul will be too heavy to eat.
But in fact, Persephone had been growing weak with hunger. And though nothing grew in the underworld, there was one single tree that bloomed in Hades' garden.
Come, Persephone. Come and taste the sweet and juicy fruit of my pomegranate tree.
That is very kind to share the fruit of your only tree with me. Perhaps I've underestimated you after all.
In truth, the cunning Hades knew that once she had taken a bite from the pomegranate, she would never be able to return home to the earth's surface.
One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Persephone had eaten 6 seeds when Hermes finally arrived to take her back to Earth.
Persephone, your father Zeus has declared that you return to your mother. Come with me, and I shall bring you home, where the lands bloom under the blessings of the sun.
Oh, thank you, Hermes. I knew my mother would not leave me here for eternity.
But Hades interrupted before their departure.
Not so fast, my friends. Persephone has eaten 6 seeds of the fruit of the underworld. She must remain here with me for 6 months a year. You may go now, but I'll see you again soon, my dear.
Hades smiled as he watched Persephone leave, for he knew that she would be returning to him. When Demeter saw her daughter again, she ran to her with joy.
My dear daughter, never again will we be parted. Together we shall make nature bloom all year round.
I am sorry, Demeter, but it cannot be. She has eaten of the pomegranate 6 seeds.
I'm sorry, Mother, but I'm going to have to return to the underworld for 6 months every year. It is my punishment. My dear daughter, how I will cry without you.
Do not cry, Mother. We must be happy for the time that we do have. You have raised our daughter well, Demeter. Persephone is wise beyond her years. Listen to our advice, and we shall bring this drought and famine to an end.
Very well. When you are here with me, I will be happy and smile upon the earth, and everything will bloom in my joy. But for the 6 months that you are gone, I will weep, and the earth will weep with me. During this time, nothing shall grow, and the land will become as hard and dry as my heart.
And that is why there are seasons, and why summer and winter are as they are. For when Persephone returns to her mother in the spring, the sun shines, and when she returns to Hades in the fall, the earth must sleep under frost.
Held his